Imagine standing in the middle of Egypt's Valley of the Kings. All around you, just sand, silence, and shadows of the past. But hidden beneath your feet, untouched for over 3,000 years, is the tomb of someone history had mostly forgotten. A young pharaoh named Tutankhamun, who came to power as a child and died before turning 20. For a long time, hardly anyone knew who he was. His name was erased from monuments, his legacy buried along with him. That all changed in November 1922, when British archaeologist Howard Carter made one of the most significant discoveries in the history of archaeology. It wasn't just the golden treasures that made headlines. It was the mystery, the surprise, and the astonishing fact that this tomb had remained almost completely intact. This is the story of Tutankhamun's life, how he ruled, how he died, and how his final resting place would make him the most famous pharaoh of all time. Tutankhamun was born around 1341 BCE, during Egypt's 18th dynasty, a golden age of pharaohs and temples, of gods and glory. He was the son of Pharaoh Akhenaten, a revolutionary figure who defied centuries of tradition by replacing the entire pantheon of gods with a single deity, Aten, the sun disk. Akhenaten moved the capital to Amarna and shuttered temples dedicated to gods like Amun, Osiris and Ra. This was more than religious reform, it was a cultural earthquake. Egypt's priests were stripped of power, its citizens confused, its empire destabilized. Tutankhamun, born as Tutankhaten, entered the world in the middle of this upheaval. His mother, likely Akhenaten's own sister, as DNA evidence suggests incestuous parentage, it was a practice designed to preserve divine bloodlines, but often led to genetic frailty. Tut was sickly from the start, but when Akhenaten died and his short-lived successor Smenkhkare vanished from the records, the 9-year-old Tutankhaten found himself pharaoh of Egypt. Guided by his powerful advisors, Vizier I and General Horemheb, Tutankhaten reversed his father's heresies. He changed his name to Tutankhamun, restoring Amun to glory and bringing the capital back to Thebes. Temples were rebuilt, statues of Amun were raised once more, the old priesthood reclaimed their power. This wasn't just religion, it was politics. The restoration of Amun was the restoration of balance, or Ma'at, in the eyes of Egyptians. Though just a boy, Tutankhamun became the symbolic face of national healing. His image appeared in temples as a mighty warrior and just ruler. Of course, the real decisions were made by his regents Ai and Horemheb, but the child king's presence gave legitimacy to a country craving stability. Tutankhamun lived in luxury. Golden thrones, perfumed oils, hunting leopards, chariots adorned with precious stones. The artifacts found in his tomb reflect the opulence of court life in ancient Egypt. He married his half-sister, Ankhesenamun, continuing the royal tradition. They were young, just children really. 2 mummified fetuses found in Tut's tomb are believed to be their daughters, both stillborn, hinting at a tragic and short-lived family line. Despite his ailments, Tutankhamun was portrayed as a god of strength. He appeared riding chariots, slaying enemies, offering gifts to the gods. Whether he truly led military campaigns is doubtful, but his regents maintained Egypt's borders, ensured trade with neighboring lands, and restored order. Tutankhamun suffered from multiple congenital disorders. DNA and CT scans conducted in 2005 revealed a clubbed left foot, scoliosis, a cleft palate, and signs of bone necrosis. He required a cane to walk. Over 130 of them were found in his tomb. He also carried the parasite responsible for malaria, evidence of multiple infections. Combined with his fragile bones, it made him vulnerable to fatal injuries. One theory holds that he broke his leg just days before his death. The injury became infected, and coupled with malaria, it led to his sudden demise at age 18 or 19. Pharaohs prepared for death for decades. Tutankhamun, buried in haste. His tomb, KV 62, was small, likely meant for a noble. Paint was still wet on the walls. Objects were jammed in, many broken, some unfinished. Yet the collection was staggering. Golden beds, ivory statues, food jars, musical instruments, even board games. His iconic death mask, crafted from solid gold, has become the face of ancient Egypt itself. A dagger in his tomb was made from meteoric iron, evidence that even in his short life, the divine aura surrounding him remained strong. By the 20th century, most tombs in the Valley of the Kings had been found and looted. Few believed anything remained. But one man, British archaeologist Howard Carter, refused to give up. Funded by Lord Carnarvon, Carter spent 6 fruitless years digging. In November 1922, just as funds were about to run out, his team discovered a stone step beneath some ancient huts. It led to a sealed doorway. On November 26th, Carter made a small hole, lit a candle, and looked inside. Carnarvon asked, "Can you see anything?" Carter replied, "Yes, wonderful things." What they found was the most intact pharaonic tomb in history. Over 5,000 artifacts, never looted, never disturbed. Gold, lapis, obsidian, linen still bearing Tutankhamun's name. Weeks after the tomb's opening, Lord Carnarvon died of a mosquito bite gone septic. Lights went out in Cairo. Other visitors fell ill. The media declared it the curse of the Pharaoh. While science has since debunked the curse, it added a layer of mystique to the already incredible discovery. Tutankhamun was reborn, not just in history books but in pop culture, films and imaginations. He became the symbol of Egypt's ancient majesty. Why does Tutankhamun matter? He ruled for less than a decade. He wasn't a great warrior, builder or philosopher, but his death and rediscovery preserved a moment in time. No tomb gives us a more complete picture of daily life, royal belief, and ancient craftsmanship. His life speaks to fragility, his tomb to eternity. There may still be hidden chambers nearby. Scans have hinted at untouched corridors. Could Queen Nefertiti lie hidden beside him? From forgotten boy to immortal legend, King Tutankhamun reminds us, even in the silence of death, a story can echo across millennia. If this journey fascinated you, like this video, subscribe and tell us which part of Tutankhamun's story left you awestruck. Until next time, keep exploring the past.